Hi everyone. Looks like we're live. Is paused. I'm having issue. No, just waiting. Yep. Sorry about that. Hi guys. I had some issues with getting the camera to focus in. It was being a right little turd. So anyway, we're all here. Hi. How are you, Rado and Terry? Just waiting for a couple of more people to hop on. Now. This is a bag. I've emptied everything out of this pocket. Okay, so this pocket is now empty, and that's the one behind the front. Okay, this is the mini organizer large bag from Yazzii, $54.95, and available on the website. If you can't get onto my Facebook group, you can always go on the website. They're available. Hi, Leanne. How you going? Welcome, welcome. So, I did a little bit of hand sewing. I'm not the best hand sewer, and I'm okay with that. And I hand sewed these down. This is a felt flower that was just already pre-made. I thought that looks really cute. And then some smart little cookie today turned around and said, you need a bee on it. And I think that was Suzanne Moore. So I thought, right, bumblebee. So either I sit here and spend half an hour drawing one, or I go to YouTube, not YouTube, Google, and I find one. So I did. So we're going to put him on there. Now, the first thing you're going to go is, how in the heck am I going to get that over there? Well, this is where we use this product here. Comes in different forms, but this is the clover version. I can't remember what it's called, but it is basically a tailor's chalk on paper. This is the white one, but it does come in other colours. Oops, there it is there. Okay, different colours. They come in packs of 5. I have ordered some, and I'm waiting desperately for some to come in. But you know what? In the meantime, I'll just use what I've got and wait for my products to come in. So if you don't have the chalk, you can actually do it the old-fashioned way, which would be basically you could actually put chalk on the back of that and press down and make the design yourself. You can draw it on manually with just a chalk pencil. That would work also. Just think of ways you can get something onto black. You are definitely not going to be able to do a window box thing with this because it's way too thick, okay? And it's very soft and squishy, so which is lovely. But in saying that, when you're trying to get a design on, it's not always helpful. So the idea is to figure out which way I want him, and maybe thinking that the bee needs to be heading towards the flower. So I'm going to just hold that down nice and firm. I'm going to go grey lead. My grey lead pencil is not soft, so I'm hoping it doesn't poke through. So I'm literally going to scratch away just firmly, but not poking right through. And I'm going to lift. Oh, I'm just getting a mark. Because it's a soft bag, it could really just take a little bit to get it on there. As long as I get the outside shape, me personally, I can pretty much wing it. And look, you know what? Once that design is painted over, it don't matter. We're just going to make it our own anyway. Okay, so I'm just going to, could always cut out and trace around it. Yeah, absolutely. It is a bit cute, so it's just taking a little time to get on there. So I might actually try a different way. Let's try a different way. This way is not really being nice to me. I used the wrong razor then, didn't I? That was a bit silly of me. Chalk one a bit better. So let's go, let's try with what Melissa said. I'm finding that it's very hard to get that through there. There's another option I do have. Could trace it over this chalk on the chalk paper. Might do it that way. Let's try this way. It's always nice to have options. Options are good. Okay, just get his little head in there, his little wings. Okay, little bands. I need to have his little blue bands, and they're all black bands. So now, now, now. So maybe without the actual thing behind it might work a bit better. No, it's just going to poke through because it's so soft. No, you're on now, Pat. So let's try the other way. So the other way would be to do what Rusty Mischief. Thank you very much, Rado. And actually cut around it, and let's draw around it like a template. So I can actually do an even better way. And the way you can do it, and even though, is to actually put, I might use this, just put down your chalk so you've got that pointy end and poke holes through, just like that. I'm not actually drawing on anything, I'm just using it soft. And it becomes like a stencil. It'll give me an outline anyway. So if that doesn't work, then I'm going to, because I'm already around the outside of it, I'm just going to use that as, you know, an outline. As long as I get the outline, it's all good. Whoops-a-days, not supposed to do that. Don't ruin your pencil. Must make mental note to stuff. That's not the sharp one. Need the sharp one. There we go. So let's do this. And because we're going to paint, you know, like if I put a little bit of grey lead on, this is not going to be a big deal. Little holes all the way around. Stitch it out with your machine. Yes, that's what I would do. I would actually go into my machine, no bobbin, no thread, just a needle, and then go around it and get my pounce pad and just swipe over it. So bear with me 2 seconds. Hopefully I have enough powder and holes that I've actually made enough. No, the holes aren't fine enough. All right, let's try again. Probably go from the other side. I'm going to go one step better. When all else fails, I say use force. That's my theory anyway. All right, ready? So we're going to cut him out and just nice and rough. And today it was literally, this was like, oh my God, I was going to do some sewing, and then I thought, oh, with all the sales we've had on Facebook today, I went, I really need just to chillax. So, and I love sewing, but rather than sort of getting really, really busy, I thought, let's get into a nice arty-farty mode, and let's just decorate this a little bit more and put a little bumblebee on it. So hence, this is why we got the bumblebee and we're going to paint it. So I cut it out. So once I've cut out, I mean, it can have one, you know, going that way. You can have 1, 3 or 4, whatever. I'm going to probably pop him right there. Got my pencil ready. This is just a fine line pencil. I'm just going to go around the outside just nicely, giving me an area. And I don't have to stitch this down as far as the design. I'm just going to paint straight on. And I can make his little antenna there, one there and one there. There we go. And I've got the outside now. So these are basically love hearts. There, just like that. And we'll give him that, and across there, a little line across there. And he's on. There we go. I did it, finally. Took me a couple of goes, but I got there. So you can have 1, 2, or 3. I did print out, well, I left it over the printout, but I did print out another one, but I printed it smaller. You know, you can have a couple if you want to, but I think one's all right. And I'm going to do some little lines and just have it coming from flower and back over again. So you can see that's where he's going to go. Ready to go. All our snails use force, they say, Redo. If you're wanting that little bumblebee, I'm happy to, I've got that on my phone as a little photo, and I'm happy to just share that. So if you're after that, please just send me a quick PM or message in Facebook. Find me there on Michelle's Patchwork and Art, and I will send you that little picture. Now, bumblebees are genuinely yellow. Lalo. So I'm going to open up the textile colour pack. Okay, so this is solid colours. They're not lumiere colours, as in, you know, luminescent. So I go the easy way. So this time I don't need to pretend that I can get back in this without distract. See, that is the Bull at the Gate version, straight open. So these are the what they call exciter packs, because it's just a little bit exciting. And you get little temptation pieces of colour. All right. Now, we obviously need yellow, but do we need a blue one rather than black? Because I reckon we can have a blue banded. What about, we have them here locally, blue banded bumblebees, so, or bees, blue banded bees. So I'm going yellow and blue because I reckon that's pretty cool. So I'm going to give them a little bit of a shake and just pop some Lalo on my little thingy. I'm just going to zoom out a little just so you can see what I'm doing. Just going to move that up there. And I'm going to put the blue. Blue bees are gorgeous. See, Redo, you and I think so much alike. Now, I know that the blue in the bees is a little bit lighter, so I'm going to pop a little bit of white there. He is a colourful little fella, and I'm thinking that we need to have, and I've grabbed the Super Sparkle, and that is going to be the wings. So it's going to have white and then that. You know, I love to use really cheap brushes when it comes to fabric. So I have my paper towel, must have paper towel, and I've got my water thingy. Oh, that is the Lumiere version. So just in case you have missed that, I didn't know if I mentioned it or not. I have also gold there as well, but I'm not 100% sure whether I'm going to use that. Yeah, so we have blue banded bees, which I really didn't realise were a thing. I thought it was just sort of, you know, something that Disney made up, to be honest. That's how naive I am. And, right, where's my little brush? Yeah, that's not it. Hang on. I'll find a cheap brush. I have a cheap brush that I use over and over again. I don't know how it's survived, but it's a flat edge brush, and I like it because I can get up, you know, close to the edge of things. So this is going to be the go. Now, I know that I just hid that, but I'm still going to sit in there because I want you to sort of see, you know, where the darker ones are going and all that sort of jazz. So first things first is I'm going to do the head, okay, and I know he hasn't got many in the rounded thing on there, but I'm going to add one in just to give him an extra band. I'm going to start with my light colour. So just fill up my brush a bit. I'm not sure how opaque these are, so I could need to do a couple of layers. It looks like they're fairly translucent, so we're going to do a couple of layers to get this colour on here, that's for sure. Being a fabric paint, I don't really need to do any, and it's not, the brush is not being nice now. There we go. And it's not really showing up, so give me 2 secs. I'm going to, very vibrant on here. Just going to really load up that brush. Really soaking into that there. Not sort of giving me the colour I wanted. So let's go the Lumiere. I'm going to grab a little bit of the yellow and a bit of gold. So I've grabbed the gold. There we go. That's better. And I've swapped over to a rounder brush. So I've just grabbed a bit of the yellow and the gold because the Lumiere paint is a little bit better when it comes to fabric and showing colour. Okay, that's better, isn't it? A bit of gold on the plate. Mix them in together. And let's just... Definitely going to need 2 coats. And me likey. I put one more there. Let's put a bit of yellow in it. So less gold, more yellow. Oh, it's fabulous, isn't it, Rado? It's absolutely amazeballs. So I might go back to my other brush now. So I'm mixing some of that yellow in with the gold. I'm grabbing the gold out of the lid just to brighten it up. A bit hard because I'm working fair way in front of myself. And I will sort of wait for that to dry off a bit. Come back to it. Okay. Now that blue, to get that blue to sit nicely, just going to grab some of the Lumiere. Oops, daisy, lost my lid. Ew. Paint everywhere. Okay. So some of the Lumiere. And we're going to pop that in there. I'm just going to put that blue in it as well. Oops, guys. Oops. Let me fix that in a minute. Okay. And a bit extra blue in there that I didn't want. All right, so the Lumiere first. A little bit of the blue on top. Just remember it's quite translucent, that other paint, the textile paint, which is nice, but when you're working on black, it's very hard to see. That didn't work as well as I wanted it to. So luckily I had my Lumieres here, ready and raring to go as per usual. All right. Just got to get into some of those little grooves where the stitches are. It can be a bit tricky. There's a little tail. Any questions, please feel free to ask. I think his head needs reshaping a little. Is that a little bee? Yeah, it is. Glad you can recognise it. It's getting there. We had some issues, but we worked them out because Melissa, aka Redo, and I are an amazing team. And normally when things don't go right first time around, we just use force. That's my theory. All right, so I just want to put a little bit more gold in there. He looks like a little wasp a little bit. Yeah, at the moment he does. Yeah, he needs a proper shaping. We'll get there. Especially once we do the wings. So I'm just going to pop that there and a bit of the yellow in it. A bit of a mix up. Keep it thick though. Don't want it too opaque, too translucent. I might have to come back because it's still a bit damp. All right, so that'll do. And I'll get the white, and with the white I'm going to use, and I don't mind the white being a little bit more translucent, but I am going to put a sparkle lumiere in it, which is super sparkle. Get another brush. This will do it. Nice. So it's just a like a lumiere sparkle. I learn what to do, not to do all the time. Me too. All right, so a little bit of white in it, just to mix the two up. And both being textile paints, you know, perfect. They will work nice together. And you've got to remember there's some serious angles on this fabric because of the stitching. Just saying. Just saying. Do you have any of those flowers left? That big one is gorgeous. Yeah, absolutely. The light blue would look good on his wings. Yes, I'm going to put some light blue in there. Absolutely. I'm going to put some light blue in his wings. Yeah, Gidget, I've got them in different colours. They come in packs of 3 for $10, so absolutely do have them. No dramas at all. So definitely going to need the second coat, just saying. And get that little coat of paint on there. Oh, got a hair in it, can't have hair in it. And angle. So this is when it would be not easier to have your fabric stitched first. Just saying. So grab a little bit of that blue, just mix it into the side of your white and sparkle. Get a little bit of blue in there. There we go. Some nice light blue wingies. He's coming along. The Santa book cover I made into iPad covers for Christmas. They are great ideas. Fantastic. Gidget, that is awesome. Good on you. Such an easy thing to do though, isn't it? The cover. It's not there's nothing really complex about them. They sorry, he just looks a little bit muddy at the moment, so just give him some time to settle. They are really, really, oh, it's a bit of water on that. Really, really good. Those doing those little covers for books, and like you've turned it into something other than just, you know, a little book cover. You've made it your own. So I'm just putting some more yellow in some gold, just to brighten it up. Come on. I need my I need a hairdryer. Hi Stella, how you going? Okay, I'm just going to move this out of the way, this closer to me. I'm going to zoom in there for you so you can, oops, wrong way. There we go. You see a little bit. Okay, I'm going to work it that way. Try and get it to work for you. That is cute. Thank you, Stella. Getting there. He's not finished. He's far from it. Now, I have my tiny little fine liner, which is really not very fine in the line. But anywho, we'll get there. So it needs to dry before I can actually, you know, get it to do what I want it to do. So I'm trying not to have my hand in the way, and that is just not going to work today. And I've got the grooves of all the stitching. So you've just got to take these little things into consideration when you're doing these things. Everything's good in theory. I do have an idea with these bags and painting, because what I first thought was, you've got all these lines already on there. How cool are the lines? So you've got all these crosshatch lines, and you can really turn them into something. So that's my first thought. That was where my head was going. And then someone, I think it was, like I said, I think it was the lovely Sue, who mentioned the bumblebee. And I thought, oh yeah, that's quite a character, so I might do that. So here I am doing a bumblebee. But in saying that, that doesn't mean my next one won't be what I was originally thinking, which I'd still like to show you, because, you know, ideas are good, and they're only good if you start sharing them around. So, so if you're wanting to do perfect, you need to change the channel now. just saying, don't do perfect. Do happiness. It was pretty funny today, wasn't it, girls, on the sales? It was so funny. Oh, I couldn't help myself with that that mat thing. That was so funny. And when I said it, I've gone, oh my God, I've already said it now. It's too late. It's already out there. Oops. All right. We're almost there. Now, I'm going to darken up the blue. Homemade isn't perfect. Exactly. I don't do perfect. I just Can't be bothered with that. I don't have that much time in my life to do perfect. I leave that up to other people. Perfect is for other people. That's my theory. All right, a bit easier with a finer brush. And I can get his shape around his head a little bit better. So I'm going to just spin it around just for a second. Bear with me. Just need to come from a different angle. My brush is pretty funky too. It's got like a little hooky thing going on with the end of it. It's like, I don't know what's going on with it. I think it's just dead. I need to buy some more. You know, we always leave our own stuff to last and do everything for everyone else. And just getting that shape in there, a bit more of an arched shape, arched. Just changing up that a little. Yeah. And you're seeing it with all those angles from those stitches as well. So he's going to look really funky. All right, so he is getting there. It's just he's going to look funky until you see him straight on. Trust me, he'll be fine. Oh. I've got a goober on my brush. Hate that. I bought good brushes and prefer the cheap ones. Honestly, when it comes to fabric painting, really and truly, don't go overboard. If you were canvas painting and painting things like that, I would say go and get yourself good brushes. But I have done classes and stuff with other artists, and some will go and use the top range, some will not. Everyone is completely different. I just know that when you do fabric as such, it's very rough on the brushes and very hard on them. Okay, so it is better to have a cheapy, nasty one on fabric, just from experience. So yeah. So again, I'm just putting some of that little luminescent sort of sparkly stuff in there, and that will give it a little bit more of a opaque look. There it goes. Lightening it up again. And that one. Yeah, so I normally don't tell people, especially if you're just starting out, to don't go mad on brushes and that, because you can literally go mad on brushes. Brushes, you know, can make or break, but in saying that, they can also be just an expense that you don't really need to go overboard for. I know of an amazing artist that I went over and saw in New Zealand, Paul Coney. He uses just cheap brushes, like, and really when you think about it, the amount of abuse these brushes get, no wonder. And the paintings he does are just stunning. Like, they're massive, great big paintings, and they're all done with cheap brushes. And I think that's just brilliant. That's just gold. It's a bit dark. Yeah, so pretty cool. And to see him do the work, oh my God, it just takes my breath away. It really does. And he does it so seamlessly, like it's just effortless. It's just, yeah. And it's all on canvas. It's nothing fabric or anything as such. It's all, you know, oil paintings and stuff. But yeah, he's amazing. An amazing artist. And his wife, Marita, my God, can she paint as well? They are, yeah, the triple threat, hey. So I'm just shaping while I'm chatting. Just shaping those wings a little bit more in there. And just to remind you, that's not white. That's actually like a shimmery thing. So it's sort of a little bit, oops, wrong way, a little bit sort of luminescent. It's got that little bling to it. Whereas the white is really white. So I'm getting there. So it's dark white. So it's really, really white. Snow. See in there. Actually, it probably needs a good shake. Okie doke. I would really love a hairdryer right now to dry this out a little, but we will deal as we go. Let's just get him on there. There's another artist, just Australian artist. I can't remember. I think he's in Sydney, and he does watercolor. God, he just takes my breath away with his artwork. His name's Richard, I think. Richard. Yes. Oh, it's a funny surname. I can't pronounce it very well, but yeah, he's amazing too. And again, you know, he's talking back about Paul Coney in New Zealand. He is a triple threat: watercolor, oil color, soft pastels. You name it, that man can do it. Incredible, and it just works. He's just got that eye for it. It's just, and same as Marita. She's just amazing. No, I'm just going to wash that out. Got a lot going on at the moment. Less at night. Okay. Just going to swap the brush over. One that's not so gluggy at the moment. I'll try the end of that. A bit thicker. But we'll see how it goes. Now, I'm still waiting for that yellow and that to dry. I don't really want to touch it, but I'm going to do, while I'm waiting, all this. So I might, no, I'm going to go and find that little flat edge. Where is it? There it is. Had yellow on it. All right. One, or where's the other one? No. Let's do this one maybe. Okay, we need to do that little dip thing. So maybe thinking, might go, I've got serious blue paint under my nails. That's gross. We might go with the gold, and I'm umming and ahhing, seriously umming and ahhing about doing lines or dots or both. So, might go both. So I'm just going to put some paint on that brush. The bee is starting to look, yeah, I know. He did look a bit shocked and in trouble before. I'm sorry about that. All right, so a little bit paint on there. No, I can't do it. I'm going to go with the line, with the fine line. There we go. There we go. That's good. Just the tip of the brush. Come on. That's a good idea too, Lumiere turquoise. Yeah. Maybe I could put some turquoise in his little blue bands. Yeah. See, when you get your little, your little containers and stuff, these Yazzii bags, you'll be able to decorate now and show me up big time, because you guys will do it so much better than me. There we go. And I'm just going to gold on there, leaving up his little boom. There it is. I'm just using the end of the brush. They've just got a light little point on it just to get some shape. Oh, and it's not helping. I don't have my eyes on. You know. All right. Touch some in there. And I would have to say, when it comes to waiting for things to dry and stuff, I am the most impatient. I can't work with, oh, look, honestly, I'm feeling a little bit fuzzy-eyed trying to see this. But I've had a couple of hot flushes today that I would seriously think that the glasses might not be helpful anyway. Let's get it's got a little bit of blue touching the yellow, so I just need to, it looks really wonky in the camera. I can guarantee you 100% that is absolutely and only because of the lines of the stitching. Because from me, at my angle, it looks perfectly fine. Alrighty, we're getting there. A little bit of detail in there. It's hard not to turn it green either, because I'm not waiting long enough for the the paint to dry properly. I'm being impatient because I want it now. Oh, come on, be nice. Good angle. Okay. He's getting there, starting to look like more of a bee. What if you hover your little iron above to set it with heat? That's an option too, because it's just heat, not steam. Well, I do have a fan underneath here. I could just sort of whip it underneath in front of the fan. Let me just touch up those little antennae. Clean that brush that I had. It had a nice point on it. That one might even have a really nice look too. Maybe not. Go with this one. This one's got a nice point. Maybe. It's a bit fat, doesn't it? No, that's freaking me out. Man, it's freaking me out. Yeah, I should get my little iron. It's just there. I'm going to touch up his little antennae. God dang it. It's hard with those grooves, I tell you. I was going to use the grooves. I will show you that process. I reckon it will work really, really well. Easier than doing this sort of version, but, you know, I'm going to, before I touch any more paint on that, I'm going to get that iron metal. Yeah, so what you can't see is that he is quite cute, see? He's not he's not as funky as you thought he was, all right? Just don't be hanging out and, you know, showing the hating the bee. All right, let me just get his little wing a little bit more rounded here. I think we do that. From this angle now, it's all changed again. So I'm looking at it from here. It looks weird. So go figure. His bum looks better than the it is. It's just the angle. Okay, so that's really quite hot. So we'll just hold it over the top. Yeah, so I have an idea, and I think you might like it, guys. And it's to do with these lines. So normally I would sew it. So I'll talk about it. So normally I would do, if I seen these sort of cross hatches lines on something, I would actually sew a design into it, and I'll draw it out and show you what I mean. Yeah, and you might understand more by visual. Oh, that's so wet. So I'm going to leave that for now, but I'm going to talk about, we'll just let Bumblebee sit there with his wet bum. So I'll talk about the next thing I want to do, and I think we can do it with paint rather than sewing. So just sit there, little doodah. Now, these have, and I'll just put some lids on some paint so I don't go knocking them over. And I'm just going to, so they're like this, right? Yeah, that's what you see. So just do that down there. So that's what I see. When I see these diamond shape things. That's what I see everywhere when I look at them. And I'm thinking, wow, what do we do here? So I'm looking at it going, we could really do so much stuff. So do we paint it? Do we stitch it? Well, you know, I love stitching, as we all know, but if I can paint something, I'm all over this. So maybe thinking is, if we were to do that and then back again, and because normally this would be a stitch, all right? So over, out and in. And you can do the same on this way, same on that way, same on that one. And you'd go the whole thing, you know, like you just do the whole thing like that. So it'd be like that, then like that, and like that. Using these stitch lines as your, you know, stopping point, yeah? And then, I'm going to do this side now because I'm on a thing. So like that. So then I thought, okay, well, you can go and make it look like a teardrop if you go the other way. I was told by a wise old lady who is no longer with us, if you stand back 3 feet and can't see any mistake, it's good to go. I agree with that wise old lady who's no longer here. That is wise words. So then I thought, so we'll do the same here and go that way. So you just do it here and here. And it's just up and down, like I don't know, half of a heart, half of a teardrop. Just like that. Can you not see the pattern creating already? I can. So then I thought, well, then we go this way on this side. Let's go up. So it's down at this point, up at that point, down at that point, up there, up, down. So down, then we come up and down, up and down, up and down. I normally say, if you can't see it, from the back of a horse at 100 miles an hour, 50 paces, then it's good to go too. So I agree, I concur. So this one's down, so this has got to come up and then come down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. So can you see that really awesome pattern being created? Yeah? So I've got some excess paint here and I have brushes. So what I thought was I'd get the brush, dip it in the paint, and you could paint it. See? So that's the area you'd be painting. You can do it in Lumiere. Now, this is a really good way if you've got paint just spare and you just want to see how it's going to look. And this paint being a textile paint, it's going to work really well with this paper. But you would use your Lumiere on your darker. Don't try and use the other one. It's just too light. It's too fine. But it would definitely work on some other things I'm thinking about. So even on paper, this looks amazeballs, doesn't it? So down there, whoops, today's the thing. Now, gives you an idea what I'm talking about. So you can then, I mean, you can. This is just the beginning. So then I thought, this is what thought sunk. Once you've done that, you've got things like, what are those rhinestones called? They're just rhinestones, those glue-on rhinestones. They're really cool. You get your little rhinestone thing out and start gluing. You can also add another colour. You can then do your dots. Doesn't this look awesome? This would have to be my first tutorial on painting on anything other than fabric that I've done live, other than fabric. I've done plenty of tutorials on fabric, but on paper, first one. I like it. Doesn't that look awesome? Do you not like that? I think it looks amazeballs. So now my brain is going into overdrive. So, you know, do you do some dots or some teardroppy things? Or, you know, I don't know whether you can see that very well, but I'll just colour that in. Simple yet effective. Exactly. So some little teardroppy sort of drop, like little leaflety things there, or little leaf things. Just these ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. Little bit of a, that looks pretty cool. But you can do this, and I mean, gosh, you can go for days. doing these sort of things, like just playing and playing and playing. But just for effect and just my thought pattern, this is my brain. What you're seeing now is my brain on paper. Oh, I've got blue paint in my thing. So this is my brain going, okay, we need to add this to it now because, you know, can't just have one thing. We're going to have 6. So let's just do that really quick. There we go. Then you get I've got that little bit of white there, but it's got a little bit of blue in it, so we can just cheat and just grab that. So it's feel like a light blue and a little bit of white. So, you know, you can then put in like little, I don't know if it'll work very well here, but, you know, little dots of white down the center. Make it curve with the curve of the piece, you know what I mean? Like make it sort of curve. So it's like that, you know what I mean? Yeah. The other option too, I thought, now my paintbrush looks green, is using the other side, the end, and actually dipping it in. Now this is Lumiere paint because it's thick, and just doing the dots. Yeah. So you just put the dot in the middle, or you do those dots down the center of this, like that. Okay, rather than using the end of your paint, the other end of your paintbrush, you use the. You got to use what works. That's how I look at it. So rather than it, I mean, that could be white and gold. Just mumbling now. Does that make sense? So you can really, and of course, change your colours up. I'm just using what I had left on my palette. But yeah, I like the fact that it's starting to actually have its own little thing going on. So me likey. Hopefully my bumblebees dry a bit. That there. That there. Yeah, so while I'm sitting there thinking, okay, let's just get a bumblebee. Oh, Gidget, my imagination keeps me up at night. And yeah, just crazy. So just sometimes it's overwhelming and I literally have to stop what I'm doing, get a piece of paper and just do this. Just sit there and fiddle. And if I can't make it work, I'll put it down and walk away. And I'll come back to it another time, but it just wasn't the right time for me. But yeah, so that just shows you something so simple as a few brush strokes that you've now got this amazing looking thing. And you can have that, obviously I won't put that down, but you have it on your actual thing. Yeah. So I frighten myself sometimes. Yeah, Gidget, I do too. Yeah, sometimes I've got to stop and go, whoa, back, Nelly. Way back, go way back. The only thing to turn my mind off at night is audio books or keep thinking up more projects. Yeah, pretty much. So what I do at night now is I will, because I don't know if you know this, but I'm a really mad, and I mean mad, true crime kind of person. So I will sit there and stick my head in true crime because it's analytical, which means the artistic side of my brain just goes, yeah, it's time to shut down now. So yeah, that's what I do. And then I just sort of veg. And it tends to work. Crazy, yes, I know, but it does work. So I'm just, you know, it is so close. And I'm going to do one more thing. Can I? Oh no, don't touch, Michelle. I nearly did. I nearly took his bum fluff off. I've seen your imagination Gidget in full steam, and like I've seen the way you make clothing and stuff like that, and how you decorate them, and just incredible. So yeah, I'm hearing you. All right, so I'm just gonna pop that there before I overheat my mat. So got my fine liner here. So with a bit of luck, I might need to grab the other one actually. Just bear with me. All right, I just got the thicker one. Still got a reasonably fine bump, like point on it, but it will do what I want it to do. And it means that I can round off and smooth out anything that is a little bit skewy where it appears. You know, like his big pointy bit on his tail there that needs to be his little thing. So, and I can put a definite line in between. Nothing. I have been watching Surviving Evil or whatever it's called. Yeah, I watch things that make people. My husband can't watch what I watch. Yeah. My mum can't watch it. A lot of people can't watch it. Fascinates me, as in the cerebral side of things. It's the way people think. I get onto YouTube and I will watch true crime. And I also get onto, I do a lot of, what they call them, podcasts as well. They fascinate me. And I'm listening to one now with Ron, what's his name? Oh God, it's Australian, major crime detective. Incredible. One of the best, or the best detective is Iddles. No. Yeah, Ron Iddles. Anyway, listening to his story, and isn't that he is a really, really good storyteller. So very, very interesting man, extremely passionate about his job and about people and families and how they, survive the loss of people. It's been very interesting getting his professional and emotional outlook on it. So if you can't tell what I'm doing, I'm utilizing my text. I will come back into that one because I'm wanting it to do what I want it to do. My partner tells people not to piss me off. Hey man, I have 70 acres and a tractor that can dig holes, and I have neighbours who have pigs. Man, my husband tells people to. He says to mate, she could get rid of you, and no one will find you. They'll be just like, what happened to that dude? Yeah. And when I just play along and just go, yeah, of course. Plus, with my evil laugh, just like Stella's husband, I know who to call. Yeah, mate. I tell you a story. Many moons ago, when I was a florist, we used to go to the market. Now you can imagine, the trick of that, Michelle. Plant a dead cow on top of it. Man, I have neighbours with pigs. Man, if I just went down there in the middle of the night, I reckon I'd get rid of anyone. No, just jokes. But I actually, when I used to go to the market, there's some seriously shady dudes who go to the flower market. Yes, the flower market. There would be this bloke, and I kid you not, I don't know who he was, what his name was, and I certainly did not ask, but he used to walk around and go from one supplier to the next to find out which florist owed what money, or which fruit market bloke owed what money to what wholesaler, and if they got enough wholesalers, and he had a handgun. Like they're gone with it. Yeah, I know. Not very long, is it? And he would walk around with a handgun some days, and he would show the handgun, and people would put money into the thing, and he would go and do the job. And it would either be a break the kneecaps, or it would be, man, you are gone. And they were serious people back then. Like that was, I don't think it had changed much. Very, very serious people. Very serious. There was another guy who used to walk around with a shotgun in his jacket, and every time he took a step forward, it would just kick out. The top of it would kick out. That's just crazy days, isn't it? Just listen to us, little old lady quilters. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. So, but when, you know, these people, they were serious. They're serious people. And then you had the, what were they called? Albanians. Oh, my God, the Albanians. Now, they were scary dudes. They were scary dudes. Where's my little picture? Oh, there it is. They were really scary. I know one bloke, they used to grow, like, I've never mentioned names, but they used to grow marijuana in between their crops. And this is how bad they were. One of them actually let their mother go to jail for it. The Albanians, yeah, Stella's all over it. Yeah, the Albanians, pretty bad dudes. Yeah. And I remember a little old fella who used to do the gum. His name was John. He was a lovely old fella. Florists are very skilled with scissors and knives. Trust me on that one. And so are sewers. Yeah, so anyway, he actually, one Mother's Day, the Albanians decided, and like I say, I would never mention names, but this is true dinks. This man was in his 80s, and they hijacked him. They hijacked his truck. So are chefs. Yes, Gidget, they are. And they hijacked his truck, right? They belted him, they pistol whipped him and whatever, and robbed him. And he was, I tell you, in the end, that poor little fella, he ended up dying of cancer. This is going back a million years. And he was such a nice little fella, you know, really nice dude. He was such a sweetheart. He really was. All right, so I think I've put just about enough in this. Now, he looks like a bumblebee with a blue bum, doesn't it? See what a black texture can do? I know it still looks a bit skewy, and that's because of the lines, but when you're up close, trust me, she looks fine. So there we go, little bumblebees. See, it does work out in the end. It did need to be dry, but unless I really pull it out like there, you can really see it there. There you go. You can really see him, see? Yeah, so anyway, that little fella, he actually died of a cancer. Such a gentleman too. He was lovely. And I used to buy all my gum from him. He was beautiful. And anyway, the cancer was from all the stuff, the sprays that they used to use on the farms, yeah. So there you go. How cute. There you go, guys. We did it. It took me a hell of a long time. Just saying. Very annoying. But you'll do it better because that's what you guys do. And you'll kick ass and you'll make your own little bumblebee, and then you'll come back and you say, look what I did, Michelle. I actually went got my bag, right? Where's the other one? Say this one, like see the lines? Can you see those? And then put that on it. Do you see what I mean? I know. Scary brain. All right. I'm going to actually, I use pen gel roller fabric pen. Sharpie would be cheaper for me. Oh, yeah. I just use a Sharpie. Sharpies. Sharpies are good. Yeah, so what else is there? Yeah, so I expect to see some of these in the making. I expect to see some bees on your things. Now, I do have these flowers Gidget. I will show them tomorrow with our sales after we do just some more stencils. But how cute is that? He's very, very cutesy. I think he's cute. I'm happy now. He has a pointy bum, not a rounded fat bum, and he doesn't look like a what do they call him, a wasp. So there you go, little bumblebee. I might even see if I can put the picture of this up in the community section of YouTube, where you can actually either screenshot it or click on it and see it go from there. All right. So that way you can then get on, do your own little bumblebee. That's okay, honey. You can do this to any old bag, any piece of fabric, any piece of material. It is all good. You can do it to a pencil case if you want to. Make your own bag and do it to that. There you go. So now my little bag has now got a bumblebee on it. Yazzii autocorrect. I know what you mean. Jazz back, jazz fingers. Maybe a practice run right over. There you go, Stella. See, now you're talking. So there you go. All good. Hey, little bumblebee. Catch you guys soon. Thank you for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends, and you can tell them how silly I am and the silly stuff I talk about. That is where we started. We almost had a disaster and couldn't get onto the actual black fabric, but we did. We worked it out. And we also got to do a little bit of excess decorating with some paper. So there it is. Oh, there it is. So, yeah, we got there. Thank you again for joining me. Much appreciate all your time and your support. We will see you tomorrow, 1 o'clock. We are going to have a live. It is Monday tomorrow, isn't it? Yes, it is. Monday's tomorrow, and we will see you tomorrow live on Facebook. And we are going to go live with some sales. So if you want to catch some of these sort of things, that's where you're going to find them. And I will see you guys soon. Bye. See you guys.